Most of us are taught to see Jesus as a figure of radical peace, but that image collides with the historical record of a man who sat down, braided a leather whip, and launched a premeditated attack of property destruction. This event is traditionally interpreted as a protest against the commercialization of faith, a rejection of profit-seeking within the walls of a holy space. However, for the hundreds of thousands of pilgrims arriving in Jerusalem for Passover, commerce was a religious and legal necessity. These bronze coins are the evidence. Because Roman currency bore the image of an emperor, it was considered idolatrous and could not be used to pay the temple tax. Travelers had to use currency exchanges and buy local animals to participate in the rituals. Since the marketplace was a requirement for the holiday to function, its presence alone cannot explain the violence. To find the source of the rage, we have to look past the coins and examine the physical geography of the temple itself. This scale model of the Second Temple in Jerusalem dominated the skyline, but its power lay in its internal layout. It operated as nested courtyards, designed to filter access based on cultural and religious identity. The innermost room, the Holy of Holies, was restricted. Only the high priest could enter once a year. Moving outward, the court of priests was reserved for the elite, who conducted sacrifices. Beyond that were the courts of the Israelites. For native citizens, these walls represented the limit of their approach to the divine. Finally, outside the internal walls, the massive court of the Gentiles dwarfed the inner sanctums. In this system, physical proximity to the center served as the metric for spiritual rank. The architecture was designed to keep certain people as far away as possible. The court of the Gentiles carried a vile purpose. It was the only area where foreigners and the marginalized were legally permitted to pray. When the religious leaders needed space for the massive Passover market, they didn't set it up outside the temple walls. They installed the entire operation inside the specific courtyard. The noise of thousands of sheep, the shouting of money changers, created a sonic wall. For the outsiders, the chaos made quiet prayer impossible. The religious elite prioritized commercial convenience over the right of the foreigner to access God. Jesus did not lose control. He launched a calculated strike. Flipping tables cleared a path for the very people the system had pushed out. He explicitly challenged the system, demanding the temple be a house of prayer for all nations, not a marketplace for the few. The cleansing of the temple was the forceful removal of a man-made barrier that had been used to gatekeep the divine. The stone walls of that temple are gone, but the tendency to build barriers remains. What tables need to be overturned in your own life today? We often build our own internal markets, filling our headspace with rigid rules, hidden shame, or the noise of constant anxiety. These barriers function exactly like the livestock in the courtyard. They create a layer of static that blocks you from a clear, quiet connection with the Father. You are invited to experience that same cleansing today. You can choose to surrender the noise and clear the path to your own heart. If you're ready to dismantle those internal barriers, take a moment to type "Cleanse my heart, Lord" in the comments below. Let the work begin.